She recognizes a touch that seeks only connection, and this dissolves the emotional barrier that many build. Touch this area during a meaningful conversation, while she shares something intimate, or when she's laughing absent-mindedly. This gesture works as a silent code of closeness. She may not comment, but the memory of the touch remains because it's not coerced. Mom. And when a mature woman realizes you notice details that no one else observes, she unconsciously begins to lower her defenses. Fourth, the lower back. Most men focus their attention on the obvious places, but those who truly understand women, especially more experienced ones, know that there is a point where desire is deep and silent. That point is the lower back, the curve between the ribs and the hip. At first glance, it seems like just an aesthetic feature, but in practice, it's an emotional center of accumulated tension. Mature women carry a lot in this region: responsibilities, resentments, memories, self-defense. The lower back is where the body retains stress and where desire remains hidden, waiting to be awakened. However, not just any touch works. If the touch is mechanical, rushed, or laden with direct sexual intent, she contracts. But when the touch communicates an understanding of the weight she carries, the effect changes completely. It's as if her body is saying, "Finally, someone noticed. Finally, someone understands where I keep what I don't show." This gesture conveys subtle dominance. It's the attitude of someone who leads without aggression, who offers support without demanding anything. That's why, in intimate moments, when a man rests his palm on her lower back with genuine intention, she instinctively relaxes, even without understanding why. Fifth, behind the knees. Few men even think about this area. Behind the knees may seem strange, unexpected, even insignificant, but precisely for that reason, it holds a rarely explored secret. This area is rich in nerve endings. It's sensitive, protected, and instinctively retracted. In an older woman, accustomed to predictable touches, this type of stimulus surprises and leaves a mark. A casual touch with the fingers, lips, or even the tip of the nose in an intimate moment acts like activating a hidden button. She doesn't expect it, and therefore feels it more intensely. But this region carries more than physical sensitivity. Behind the knees lies the vulnerability she doesn't show. It's where tickles arise, but also deep shivers. Sixth, the ear. The ear is one of the most underestimated yet most powerful points when the goal is to awaken a woman in a profound and almost imperceptible way. And it's not about bites or hurried kisses, but about presence, rhythm, and intention. The ear is the only place on the body where words and touch meet. Older women have heard it all: ready-made compliments, empty promises, pretty phrases. But they perceive the difference between a whisper charged with real desire and a rehearsed speech. The ear is the point that connects the body to the emotional brain. It's where the voice transforms into a shiver. A breath at the right rhythm can produce more effect than any direct touch. And here's the secret. It's not what you say, but what she feels while you speak. Whisper softly, speak slowly, say less than you would like, and with more intention than she imagines. When you approach the ear of an experienced woman conveying security, contained desire, and genuine curiosity, she feels it all at once. The voice enters through the ear and travels through the body to the mind. You can touch the nape of her neck, her wrists, her lower back, provoke shivers, make her smile and sigh. But if you don't touch her mind, everything else fades with time. The female mind functions like an eighth sense, and in older women, it's the true center of emotional and sexual decision-making, because experience has taught that a body without connection is merely a distraction. It's not about intelligence, status, or stock phrases. Touching the mind of an experienced woman requires emotional presence, clarity of intention, and true authenticity. You reach her mentally when you say something that makes her reconsider what she thought she knew, when you act in an unexpected but coherent way, when you demonstrate discipline, vision, and self-control. It's at that moment that she starts thinking about you outside the bedroom. It's when you appear in her thoughts before sleep, not as a simple interest, but as a presence that intrigues and fascinates at the same time. Older women are selective because they have lived a lot. They have been deceived, admired, forgotten. What they desire now is someone who sees them completely and who is not afraid of the intensity of that. When you touch her mind, her body naturally follows. And more than that, she begins to crave your presence, even when you're not there. This is the most difficult touch, and also the most powerful, because it doesn't fade. Have you ever stopped to think about why some more mature women surrender to a simple touch, while others seem completely unattainable? The truth is that there are 7 regions on the female body capable of awakening deep desires, especially in women with more life experience. But be warned, we're not talking about obvious places. Each of these points carries its own emotional meaning, and the 4th point, when touched in the right way, can lead her to see you as the man she has waited for all her life. Imagine being able to touch her mind even before touching her skin. And the last point on the list? Few men have the courage to get there, but those who do are never forgotten. Before continuing, leave a like, subscribe to the channel, and activate the bell, because what you're going to discover here can't be learned anywhere else. Let's go to the first point, the nape of the neck. There is an area on the female body that, when touched with the right approach, breaks down defenses that took years to build. This area is the nape of the neck, and in older women, it has an even greater symbolic weight. It's not just a sensitive area of skin. It's a silent point of emotional surrender. Since ancient times, turning your back to someone has been a gesture of trust. The nape of the neck is one of the most exposed areas at that moment. And for a woman who has been betrayed, judged, or burdened by life, allowing someone to get close there is like handing over the key to a forgotten part of herself. But here's the detail that many men ignore. They touch the nape of the neck hastily, as if seeking to provoke an immediate shiver. The problem is that she perceives this instantaneous intention, and what could be connection transforms into something cold and disconnected. She closes herself off, alters her posture, and the energy breaks down. The correct touch on the nape of the neck happens with respect, slow rhythm, and presence. It's as if his hands are saying, "I'm here. I'm not in a hurry. I don't want to dominate. I just want to truly feel you." And this type of touch has a profound impact on experienced women because they have lived a lot. They have felt hurried hands, empty kisses, and unintentional gestures. When women perceive a man who understands the power of emotional touch, they surrender without realizing it. Secondly, the wrists. Wrists seem discreet, small, harmless, often ignored by most men. However, in more experienced women, this is one of the points most charged with emotional meaning. Why? Because more than blood pulsates there. Emotional memory pulsates. Touching the wrist isn't sexual, it's symbolic. It's where she feels time passing, where she carries the accumulated tension of the years. There lies the weight of everything she keeps silent. Frustrations, daily pressures, sleepless nights, unspoken longings. Precisely for this reason, touching there can be more intimate than a kiss. But be careful. This touch shouldn't be invasive. It's not about holding tightly, but about understanding her rhythm. You know when you hold a woman's hand and, instead of intertwining your fingers, you just gently slide yours along the inside of her wrist? That doesn't just cause a shiver, it causes a breakdown of emotional armor. Many women can't explain why, but they feel something different. They don't rationalize it, but their bodies respond because this gesture conveys something rare: presence, emotional understanding, and inner control. The pulse acts as a detector of intentions. If you approach with anxious energy, she closes herself off. But if you touch her there as if to say, "I know where your tension lies, and I'm here to relieve it," something changes. Even if it's brief, this touch is registered in her body's memory. She may try to disguise it or move away, but inside, her body remembers. Third, the inner part of the arms. If you want to perceive when an older woman begins to trust you, observe how she reacts to touch in this region. This area, which goes from the shoulder to the forearm, passing through the elbow crease, is one of the most neglected parts of the female body, and at the same time one of the most emotionally revealing. Why? Because there is no natural protection there. It's an area where the skin is thin, the nerves are sensitive, and touch directly reaches the limbic system, the region of the brain responsible for emotions. Touching her lightly is like accessing a direct shortcut to what she feels. It's a gesture that communicates, "I don't want to force anything. I want to walk with you as far as you allow me to go." Younger women may perceive this simply as affection, but an experienced woman, with history and life experience, feels it differently.